Hey everyone, it is Tim Souza here with Real Estate en Route, and today I have had the amazing pleasure of hanging out with Janice Hastie. I said that correct, right?
You did.
Yeah, I did. So Janice has been phenomenal in showing me kind of the greater cottage and country region outside of Ottawa today. I've gotten to see a farmhouse, a kind of house on a river, house on a lake, and then house on another lake. And so this property, I'm going to let Janice kind of be the expert in and ask her a few questions about. But first, she's with a company called Homes and Cottages Unlimited, and this is a brokerage that you started from our conversations, correct? Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that experience has been like, and maybe a little bit about your history in real estate?
Okay, well, that's going back a while. So I started the company with cottage rentals. Coming from Montreal, we used to rent chalets every season.
Oh, okay.
So when I came to Ontario, I thought, well, this is a business I can start from home, which then grew too big. But at some point, the government came knocking on the door and wanted me to be a real estate broker to rent the cottages. So I ended up getting into sales and have been for probably 25 years. But I've been traveling cottage country for about 31. So it's a natural fit.
Okay.
But I sell in Ottawa, West End, a fair bit. Sell in Carleton Place, Almont, Smith Falls, Perth, all the small towns around. And we do a lot of waterfront. We're known for waterfront.
A lot of waterfront. And that's like waterfront cottages and then properties that people live in full time.
And yes, most waterfront properties now, people are looking at them in terms of buying one that can, if it's not four season already, then it can become four season. Because everyone wants to look at retiring at the water.
So you were saying that this area, so where we are now, is probably about an hour's drive into downtown?
This is an hour's drive from downtown Ottawa
But
to the Parliament buildings.
Parliament buildings. So some of the other ones that we were seeing, though, they're about like 30 minutes.
They're about half an hour, 20 minutes into Ottawa.
For this kind of like space on the lake, which is absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, this is the Ottawa Valley. It's beautiful. The small towns, they're so easy to live in. Neighbors know each other. There's very little crime.
And how many, about population-wise, like we're looking at small towns of like?
Probably about 10,000.
On average?
On average.
Yeah. So that's, and then you said, I know we went into a couple of smaller towns. I think we drove through Carleton Place a little bit. And
we drove through Carleton Place and Almont.
And there was like old mills and like...
Old mills have been turned into condos and restaurants.
Which is...
A lot of old buildings that have been preserved.
Which was absolutely phenomenal. There was this one mill that she was showing me that has like apartments on top and a restaurant down below, like overlooking the river. Gorgeous. She's a phenomenal tour guide for the region.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've had a really fun day.
I've enjoyed it too.
Yeah? Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad that you've actually had fun. So we've talked about a few different things throughout, like the home buying piece, etc. One of the parts that I found was interesting is that coming from a California context, our seasons obviously look a little bit different. I come from a desert, so yeah, like we don't have this whole snow thing that happens. But when is a good time to buy and sell then? And when do you see the market kind of picking up for listings, and then when you see the market picking up for when there's like an inundation of buyers?
Okay, so if you're in town, it really doesn't matter.
Okay, so like
I mean, it can get busy right after Christmas. I've sold out rural, a cottage on the waterfront, Christmas Eve.
Really?
I was very annoyed with them for making me go up there, but then they ended up buying it, so it was like, okay, that's fine.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, yeah. Merry Christmas to me. But generally speaking, with waterfront, you want to wait. It depends on how long the winter is, really.
Yeah, it's very seasonal.
It depends on that.
Okay.
For the most part, we usually start putting waterfront on in April.
Okay.
So it depends, and then it can be extremely busy and crazy until mid-July. Mid-July to mid-August, it slows down a bit just because everyone goes on holiday. Then it gets crazy busy again around mid-August. and it's been nonstop. And then it goes like that. Pretty much, it'll slow down after Thanksgiving,
Okay.
which is earlier
I
than
would
your
say, which is like
Thanksgiving.
October 10th, I believe, or
Yeah, I
something
think
like
it's,
that.
yeah, it's a little later this year, but it's still mid-October.
Mid-October. Not November, so.
Not November.
If you do both, you can have 2 turkey days, which is
Yes.
awesome.
And so it slows down after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
But it still goes until the snow flies. And I've been, Kirsten, my licensed assistant, the two of us have been tromping through snow up to here
Really?
often.
And do you find that buyers don't mind trumping through snow to get to homes?
Well,
or-
if they're really interested in a property,
Doesn't matter.
they're okay with it because, that's what they want. It's a really nice area for children to be brought up in our small towns and outside. It's safe. There's lots of recreation. There's good schooling. We have wonderful hospitals. We are spoiled
Okay,
rotten.
so talk to me about that. You said there was 3 towns. So at one of the properties that we were looking at, Janice was saying if you go 10 minutes that direction, there's a hospital. If you go 10 minutes this other direction, there's a hospital. There's another one 10 minutes over here. So what does that look like compared to getting medical care in the cities?
Oh, we're spoiled.
Yeah. Okay.
We're spoiled. We get every type of care we need. Sometimes we get sent in to the city for specifics, but very rarely because the specialists all come out to our hospitals.
So they do a little bit of a tour, and you can
Oh
actually
yes.
get. Oh,
No,
okay.
so all the specialists come out. We get surgeries much quicker than in the city. We put it this way. My mother was 91 when I had her in a home nearby. And when I had to take her into the hospital in Carleton Place, I would phone ahead of time. I would talk to them and say, is it really busy? And they say, no, it's fine. Bring her right into the ambulance bay. There's no ambulance here right now. We'll be waiting with a wheelchair.
Wow.
We are spoiled. We are blessed.
That is absolutely spoiled.
And, and we have so much theater, very artistic community in this whole area.
So lots of little, I would call them kitschy spaces of
Yes.
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 Cool. So really, a lot of these spaces were really beautiful to go through. A lot of older spaces. Mm-hmm. So one of the interesting things I think we were talking about earlier today in the car was around how do you help? What things would you tell first-time home buyers, or people?
Okay.
Yeah, or people who may not be first-time home buyers but are scaling to a different home. Maybe it's their second home. Things to be aware of. Things to be cognizant of when maybe approaching the loan process and approaching what it means to be approved out in this area, because you had mentioned a couple things, one about pre-approvals and how long a pre-approval lasts, and then another around just helping educate clients. So I want to give you that opportunity to kind of talk
Okay,
about
so especially with first-time home buyers, actually with everyone, you should go for pre-approval with either your mortgage specialist or your bank. And you shop around because your bank will not necessarily, in fact, rarely give you the best rate.
Really?
Until they have competition. Yeah, no, unfortunately that's the way it is.
Okay.
But with first-time home buyers, they need to get pre-approved so they know how much they can look for, how much they can pay for a house. Because often they start looking and they really don't have any idea. So it's a waste of time for them.
Right.
And they get their dreams up and then they can't get the place.
Right, because they don't have
can't get the
parameters
property.
that they're looking at.
So it's really important they find out how much they can spend on a home. And then the next thing is when they actually do an offer,
Right.
they need to, and I counsel all my young home buyers, pay down your debt. Get rid of your debt because that helps your mortgage.
And
It helps you
how does that
get a
help your
mortgage. It helps you get a better rate.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, once they have an offer and it's all been accepted, they've done their house inspection, they've done all the inspections, I tell them not to go out and start buying furniture, to wait until they've moved into their new house, because what it can do, it can affect their mortgage. And the banks always look at the numbers again before you actually everything goes through.
They'll rerun it.
And so if you run up debt, I've seen them lose their house, lose their offer, lose the property. So
no buying couches, no buying a car right before.
no buying a car, no buying boats. I've had many young lads do that.
Oh, you're out on the cottage, so that makes sense. So they get
Yes.
excited. Yeah. Okay.
It's just something that's really necessary. Now for people who are moving up, Basically what they need to do is, again, go for a pre-approval.
Mm-hmm.
Find out where you actually can go, not where you think you can go. And they need to minimize everything in their house. Make it look as minimalist as possible. Get rid of the junk they've accumulated, or at least find a place to go store it.
Right. Rent a mini storage for
Mini storage.
a month or so. Get all your
Yes.
stuff in. Yeah.
We deal with a lot of people downsizing,
Okay.
especially onto the lake. So with them, it's a totally different process. It's not really so much about how much they can buy. They usually have a very good idea, though they also still need to make sure. But with them, it's about, is this new place actually going to be big enough
For
what
their lifestyle.
for their lifestyle, and what is their lifestyle? So we
Right.
have to say, like, how much time are you going to spend here? If you're retired, are you going to be here all year? Are you going to be gone in the winter?
Well, because of 4 seasons. So, like, are they
Four seasons.
snowbirding? So does it matter
Right.
what that all looks like?
And the other thing is, are you going to be near medical care? Are you going to? How far is the shopping? You know, all those things are very important.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that's one of the reasons to, get a real estate professional like a realtor on your team
Yes.
to help you think through all those processes. I know that one of the reasons that we're even launching real estate on Route is because I have seen, specifically in the millennial generation and a lot of people who are very up with tech, that real estate professionals don't often get the same respect that they may have used to.
True.
Because people see real estate agents as like an advanced search algorithm and then also a door opener professionally, right?
Right.
And so I know that there's so much more that agents do for their clients that people don't even think through. Mainly because real estate's one of the top 10 most emotional decisions that someone can make in their life. It's like wedding,
Absolutely.
losing a parents, having your first kid, buying your first house, buying a second house. It's large financial decisions. So what do you do for your clients that is unique to their experience, that you make sure that they feel taken care of outside of opening doors and being an advanced Google search?
Well, for one thing, when we're seeing properties, especially rural, the things that we look for,
Right. Okay.
in terms of septics, in terms of in terms of, we've had a lot of flooding in the areas this last year. So in terms of where the flood mark, to look for the flood mark on a
interesting.
property.
Okay.
I mean, that's a very important thing. And I do a lot of counseling about money,
Yeah.
keeping the funds in the right place.
So they can get approved for a loan.
So they can get approved, and they can keep the mortgage, and they can buy the property. There's a lot of that. I become friends with a lot of my clients.
Okay.
So, we tend to have a long-term
Relationship. So if someone has something like they need repairs done on our property, you've
I
got
often,
a guy.
I often get called.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
good. It's
Yeah.
more than just the transaction exchange,
yes.
like at a till. It's like, no, this is a relationship over time. Yeah. You're like a consultant for housing.
Like a consultant. I was up at a property this week where they wanted to know what to do to sell for spring. And some of the things they were going to do, I said, well, no, you're wasting $8,000.
Right.
It's not going to make a difference, but this is what you need to do instead. Take that money and put it over there. So we do a lot of that. And it does make a huge difference.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, and there's the value outside of the just sending someone an MLS, right? Because we were talking earlier, you work a lot online, you work with your team digitally,
Yes.
and leveraging all those digital tools sort of helps you not only be more efficient, but like you don't have to have a building that you then have people walk in and look at an MLS book.
Oh
anymore.
my gosh.
You remember those?
I don't even think I remember those days,
they're
honestly. Luckily, online was...
was definitely a thing.
Well, actually, no. No, it wasn't really, come to think of it at the beginning.
Yeah.
But no, it's so much
It's just-
easier with technology.
Absolutely. So we encourage people to look up at homes online and then reach out for expertise.
Oh, absolutely.
Alrighty, Janice, this has been a phenomenal day. Thank you.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. I'm glad you've had fun.
I have.
As well. I called this lady kind of randomly on my trip through Ottawa and was like, hey, would you be down to do this video? And I think I've had fun. I'm so excited to produce some of this content and can release it.
I'm really happy to have shown you some beautiful places.
Oh my goodness. This has been, honestly, I kind of want to live out here at some point in life. That's just kind of where I've ended. Is like,
That's what happens.
yeah, you did this. So she's really good at her job, folks. I just want you to know. But I think, yeah, I think also I've learned so much from Janice around how to have a home in the country, how to have a home out on the lake, and like there's just things to look for. So if you have any questions, Janice, where can they reach you? Where can they reach out to you to learn to if they want to connect?
Through my cell phone, 613-851-4018.
Yeah. She's in her mobile office all day. It's been kind of fun to be in her office with her as we've driven around. So I thought we'd sign off from her mobile office. So feel free to reach out to Janice. And then if you have any other questions for her, I'll go ahead and put her contact information down below.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Janice, for such an awesome day.